Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy to have you here. Sorry about the technical delays we were having. I like auto set up the stream, so like all the settings are good to go beforehand, and I had started streaming on the original link, and then someone accidentally clicked an end session button or end streaming button, and I couldn't restart it with the same link, so I had to go and create a new one. So if you're here, you're in the right spot. Welcome. Sorry for all of the issues. We've got an interesting one today. So the past couple weeks we've been building up, talking about office personalities for corals. So like Acropora we had listed as like the drama queen, but actually really friendly, just gets caught up in drama. Or Orbicella's the overachieving the overachiever that tends to burn out very, very easily. And we're going to continue on this trend. So I've been watching a lot of The Office lately, which has kind of inspired this whole phase of content. And so we're just going to keep going with it. We have all these different personalities for corals. Now we're actually going to go and assign like characters. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and assign corals to characters from The Office. We've got a long list, but thankfully there are a lot of characters in The Office. And I already have some good ideas for a lot of them, but we'll have ones that will be a little bit tougher. So how I am doing this is I haven't gotten quite everything ready yet, so bear with me on this. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna build the list. So in Freeform, I've just started copying pictures of the characters from The Office, and then I'll open on this side I'll pull up the list from last week that we were using. So we left off with Phyllis. This is actually one of my favorite scenes with her, when she's just jamming out to her own music, oblivious to everything else going on. We're gonna keep moving on though. I'm kind of going around The Office, desk clump by desk clump. So we were on Phyllis. So next we've got Stanley. Pretty classic one there. We're gonna try and get through this pretty quickly. I'm not going for clean formatting on this today. We're just messing around. So if we wrap back around in the main office, we're not going to the annex quite yet. And we're gonna stick with like the main long-term characters we've had. So probably gonna skip Clark and Pete for now. If we've got extra corals we need to fill in with, then I will happily add like the season 9 characters, season 8 and 9 characters too. But for now, we're just gonna keep it pretty simple. Make sure we've got a name for everyone. So we've got Creed, we've got Meredith, then we'll do accounting, then we've got Daryl. Pretty good one, with her hair is always being messed up. Meredith. Now let's get accounting. Classic Kevin faces, just wonderful. I mean, this is the classic Kevin face. So we'll keep it going there. Kevin. Then we've got Oscar. This was. I just watched this episode when they drink all of the espresso and are like trying out all the espresso flavors. I laughed pretty hard at that one. I genuinely enjoyed it. Whoa, no, it's this one. We have to have this one. Have to have this one. Oscar being disappointed pretty much all the time. And then we'll get Angela. I need an evil smile from her or a grimace. That's good. Oh, not that one. Where did it go? Yeah. But the soundbite face is better. Well, no, we'll go with this one. We'll go with this one. Angela, okay, that does the main floor. Oh, well, we'll do Aaron as well. Perky Aaron. Happy Aaron. Absolutely, we have to have Happy Aaron. A lot of these are really wide photos. Anyway, we've got Andy in there. So next we have the annex. So we'll go around that. We'll add Toby. Yep. Has to be that one. How did I size it? So I size them very differently. All right, Toby. We've got Ryan. Yeah, we'll go with early Ryan. Oh, I don't need a GIF. There we go. So Ryan always annoyed me in the early seasons, but when he went like crazy tech bro after he crashed out as Jan's job, like that was peak for me. That was peak Ryan. Then we've got Kelly. Oh yeah, this is the one I want. I just don't want. Oh, I was hoping to avoid the. There we go. Boom. Yeah. Okay. Is that everyone from the main? The core? Oh, Daryl. Oh, whoops. A. Durrell. It's not Durrell, it's Daryl. Oh, that would have been a good Ryan one. How about I spell his name right? His sound bites, some of the best. Some of the best. Daryl. We have Nelly. Oh, forgot the E. Early Nelly. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I probably need to stop there for now, because we have now a very long list. Ooh. So we've got pretty much everyone in there. So now what I need to do, I'm gonna leave Clark and Pete off for now. Jan and David Wallace, they're more reoccurring characters than they are main or side characters. If I'm forgetting anyone though, let's see, we've got Michael, Jim, Pam, Dwight, Andy, Phyllis, Stanley, Creed, Meredith, Kevin, Oscar, Angela, Aaron, Toby, Ryan, Kelly, Daryl, and Nelly. So We already know who Kelly is from last week. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And you actually made it just in time. I'm pulling up the list. I'm pulling up the list right now. So just stare at my face for a sec while I get it there. Take me just a moment to pull it up. Maybe. Work personalities. Got it. Got it. Anna, do you know who, if we're missing anyone? I think we've got all of the main people. I made an executive decision. I kept Nelly, but I'm ignoring Clark and Peter for now. But I'm trying to stick with like the core cast. So if I did, just let me know. So we're gonna jump right in. All right, we've got our list over here. I've never watched The Office. What, you had an opinion on Pam last week? I know. This is the first time I gave it a full run through. Before that, I've only seen bits and pieces, but now I've gone like the full length through it, seen all of it. So I've actually done, like, I understand the characters a lot more. But it's funny, if you've only seen it from Insta Reels, like, you've got a lot of these spot on. You had a lot of great ideas for it. Okay. And for those of you who weren't here last week, I created a secret second list way over off to the side of people that these coral species or coral genera could be. So if we're gonna start with Michael, I did have already one picked out, Montastria cavernosa. I had it as a great leader. It's the boss of the group, but since it fluoresces, like especially the juveniles, they tend to fluoresce. They're sometimes a little flirtatious, a little open with how they feel. Sometimes maybe a little bit more than it should be. They should be. So we're gonna give Michael here Montastria cavernosa. Boom. Make it nice and big. Okay, so MCAV goes to Michael Scott. So then we've got our boy Jim. I actually don't have one. I had a little bit of the list over here for Jim and Pam. Let me blow it up a little more. But those were just a fun little, like, Cervicornis, Palmata, and Prolifera, because Prolifera is the hybrid of Acer and Apal, so naturally it would have been their kids. And since I don't really know of anyone else's, we're actually gonna stick with that. I thought it was gonna change my mind, but let's just stick with it for now. Okay, so Jim, and we're gonna stick with it because the Acroporids are kind of like the glam team, especially in coral restoration. They're super popular because they've been wiped out by thermal stress, they've been wiped out by disease. So they're really kind of the popular ones of the Caribbean coral world. So Jim and Pam are kind of like the normal ones, the normal characters in the group, if you will. So we'll kind of stick them with Acer and Apal. Now, which one of the two? I don't think I gave that actually serious consideration. Whether Acer is Jim or Apal is Jim. I guess it's like who's been run through the ringer more. I would say like Palmata, really bad batch. Sorry, not bad batch. Tough go of it during the 2023 bleaching event. So that one's kind of got hit hard. And Pam usually takes the brunt of a lot of things. So I think we're gonna go with Jim's gonna be Acer. And then Pam is gonna be Palmata. And that kind of fits too. Pam for Palmata. Apal is beautiful, so it should be Jim. I mean, that's true too. That's true too. But Cervicornis is also beautiful. And like the two of them are like both supposed to be like the beautiful normal ones. So they both fit. And no hate to Pam. It's funny, last week you had a different opinion. You were not a fan of Pam. I mean, I agree with you on that, Anna. I agree with you on that. But also like Palmata Pam, like Pam for Palmata, like that kind of works too, no? We could get that could work just fine. I'm still not. I'm pretending. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. Gotcha. We can revisit this then. We can revisit this. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it as is though, because Pam is like, she gets the short end. She draws the short straw. I think more often than Jim, and Palmata is usually the one that kind of takes the brunt of things. So maybe we'll revisit it. Okay, Dwight. Our man Dwight. Kind of smart, kind of quirky, kind of crazy a little bit. So let's refer to our list here because I don't have one for Dwight. I'm leaning initially towards our brain coral for smart, but also Oscar is really smart. He is the one that's known for being the smart aleck. So I don't know if I can give it to him, but we do have our Dicosenia, one of a kind, and no one is like Dwight Schrute. There is not one person like Dwight Schrute. So I think he's gonna get Dicosenia. His pranks on Jim, along with lack of trust, hence when they found his wallet and gave it back to him, warrants a sly coral. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So he's got that cunning edge to him. And I do get that vibe with Dicosenia. Like when you see it, you're like, "What's up, dude? What's up, Dicosenia? How you doing?" So I think he's gonna, and just no one is like Dwight. No one is like Dwight. You could argue that with Michael too, but he's the boss, so he gets the boss coral. So we're gonna stick with Dicosenia here. Andy, the considerate, somewhat spineless, somewhat a little bit of annoying, especially at the end. Ooh. Oh, hold on. Dwight would also be a good Siderastria. Because Siderastria doesn't care what people think. Hang on. Okay, we'll have to come back to this. I forgot. I'm still leaning towards Dicosenia. But it could also be a Siderastria. All right. What do we have? Andy. So from our list here, ooh, he could be a number. I could easily see Andy being a Porites. I could easily see him being a Stefanicinia. I feel like he could be a Porites. Kind of very common. Tries to do everything, but doesn't always accomplish. Although pride, I feel like that's insulting to Porites. I don't want to insult Porites, so maybe not Porites. Oh, he does. He is a kiss up. And he really is bad at feedback. All right, so I think he's going to be Stefanicinia. Andy will give Stefanicinia. I know, one of your favorites, Anna, one of your favorites. I always have to double check if I spell Stefanicinia right. I feel like I get it wrong a lot. I think that's right. I think that's right. Okay. All right, then we've got Phyllis. Quiet, but also really sassy. Kind of decent at her job, sometimes really good at it. Alternating head of the party planning committee. Oh, she's tricky. I'm saving Ephra. She's kind of socially awkward, but yeah, we need another sassy one. We need more corals with sass. Honestly, she'd be a good Madrasis. We don't have any quirks for it, but would make for a good Madrasis. Another Acropora? She could be another Acropora. She'd be a decent EFAS, but doesn't fit these characteristics. Let's come back to Phyllis. Sorry, Phyllis. We're gonna come back to you. Stanley. Oh, okay. Piece of cake. He is actually Siderastria. No brainer. Siderastria. Healthy boundaries, not a team player. He shows up, he does his work, 5 o'clock, he's done. He is done. Siderastria. Doesn't care what other people think, just does what he wants without a single care in the world. Absolutely Stanley is a Siderastria. Okay, now we've got the true wild card of the bunch, Creed. A little bit of, criminal activity. Usually pretty upbeat. I don't think we have one for him this way. Honestly, he'd be more like an algae. Wait, what? What's on your mind? What's on your mind here? What about D-Sil for Stanley? D-Sil for Stanley? Always has snacks, always out sick? Stanley's the man, he shows up. He will take any chance to leave, and we see him eat during the We do see him eat during the show. But he doesn't really ever call out sick. He does sometimes take client calls in the middle of the day. But that is very different. He is always eating. But I like the idea of having Stanley as a Siderastria because he doesn't care about what other people think. He does his Sudoku during meetings. He does his crosswords during meetings. Remember when he did? Yes, I do remember when he did push-ups to leave early. That would be a team player because that was like a challenge. Oh, you're making me second guess myself here. Don't do that. But like, to be Dendrogyra, you need to be like the superstar. Oh, we could also, doing crossword is not very team sport. True, and he's not a team player. Siderastria is not a team player. I think I'm going to leave Stanley as Siderastria. Okay, Creed. Might have to come back to Creed as well. Because I don't think we have a good... Because Creed is inherently not a normal work personality, because he like doesn't even know what his job is, which some people don't. That's true. Some people don't know what their job is. But he's supposed to be this wild card, suspicious, semi shady person, and we were trying to do like normal office type personalities. So maybe we'll come back. Meredith. Oh my gosh, not much easier. Not much easier. Does not embarrass. Really confident, that's for sure. Wow, this is getting hard. It was so easy doing the main cast. Now it's getting harder and harder, because like the point of the side characters is to bring in some chaos. Some inherently not office type things. So I actually hadn't considered how that's going. I hadn't considered how that's going to affect how we assign corals to here. So then we'll keep revisiting and come up with an alternative strategy, perhaps. Kevin. He could be a Dendrogyra. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing for Kevin. He's either a Dendrogyra or he's Meandrina. I mean, they can be Aptasia or Dinos. Oh, you're getting fancy here. You're getting fancy. Oh. Oh, I see your point. I see your point. They can be like coral side characters, being Dinos or Aptasia, or like Crustos, CCA. I like that idea. We'll keep that. We'll keep that in mind. I like it. So yeah, Kevin. I think Kevin, we will do Meandrina, because like nobody hates Kevin. Everyone kind of likes Kevin. He's not the brightest, of course. But there's no one, I mean, people get annoyed with him. Angela gets annoyed with him. But no one, like, is ultimately, like, ultra weirded out by people. He does make people uncomfortable sometimes, but not like Michael or others. So yeah, we'll give him a Meandrina. Not okay. I like that. That feels safe. Oscar, we did say we're gonna give him Brain Coral because he's smart. I wouldn't say he's socially awkward. I think he's just a know-it-all, which fits in with smart, so that's fine. So we'll bring him down to, not Brian Coral, Brain Coral. So this is the Diplorias and the CNAT. Including pseudo-Diplorias as well. All right, Angela, I had one already picked out for her. She is going to be Ephra, Favia fragum, because Favia fragum is small. It's a small coral. They make smaller colonies. And so Angela's smaller. And we gave the personality of like, she'll have your back. If if you are allies with her, she will fight for you in some way. But she also doesn't hold back the punches. She will say what's on her mind. Even like passive aggressively, I'd say like that's still blunt. That can still be blunt. Sometimes she does just say it right out too. So she's gonna get Fabia. And no, I don't need autocorrect on that one. Aaron. Oh. Oh. She's super easily influenced. But I wouldn't call her the office bestie. There are a lot of issues centered around Aaron throughout the later seasons. So I won't call her the office bestie, but she is easily influenced. She could be an Acropora. She is friendly. Fairly loyal. Fairly loyal. And then, but she does get caught up in a lot of drama. She gets caught up in a lot of drama. I like where your head is going. Is there a toxic coral, or since we have already someone for Kelly, Ryan can be whatever is toxic to Kelly? Yeah, that would be hilarious. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, we could think of that. Thinking ahead. That'll make it interesting. All right, well, we'll come back to Aaron. Toby. Oh, well, Toby's going to be easy because he's not going to be a coral. Toby is easy because he doesn't get a coral because we don't like Toby. So he's turf algae. No one likes him. Is that too much? I think that's fitting. I think that's fitting. Okay, yeah, Ryan and Kelly. We'll pair them up. We'll pair them up here. Get a little room on the screen for that. So Kelly, we had already picked out for my Cetophilia because she's the glamorous one. So she's gonna have the nicest clothes and whatever. She's like whatever about work. If she's late, there are times she like shops and whatever. So she's gonna get my Cetophilia. If I can get it to actually type for me. No, why would I have a V in my Cetophilia? Oh, I did spell it wrong though. There we go. I think. Okay, anyway. Ryan is stony coral tissue loss disease. Oh my. That is harsh. That is really harsh. Oh my god. Let me check something really quick. I want to see how bad my Cetophilia was affected. Because not many people look into it. That's not a cactus coral. Yeah, data deficient. That's what I thought. But it is a stony coral, so of course. I don't know if we can do Ryan as Skittledy. That's oof. Uh-oh. He also did a lot. No, but he's not good enough to be a Porites. He's not good enough to be a Porites at all. Is this really all we came up with last week? I feel like we worked on this list for so long, and it's actually not even that long. Oh gosh, we definitely put more characters than I think we did personalities. I don't know. Oh, I forgot to do Aaron. We had decided to crop her up. Oops. I know we already have Jim and Pam, but like Aaron is Pam 2.0, so Aaron can also be in a cropera. Whatever. This doesn't need to be that serious. I mean, we're signing coral species to office characters, for goodness sake. Like, this is not serious. So you know what? Fine. Yeah. Because Ryan does affect pretty much everyone on this list. Except Jim. SCTLD did not really affect acroporids. But Ryan and Jim don't get along. Anyway, reading too much into it. Daryl. This one's actually okay. I feel like Daryl is an Orbicella. He is a really hard worker. He he runs the warehouse and is one of the only competent people in this show. And at a couple points during the show, he showed signs of burnout. He wanted new jobs. He tries out that job. Spoiler alert. Works with Jim at the new company. I think that's a fairly safe bet. So we're gonna give Daryl an Orbicella. That's safe. Okay. And then we have Nellie. Nellie. She could fit a few of these. She gets caught up in drama, but she initially is quite friendly. She's fairly neat and orderly. Sometimes people like her, but I wouldn't call her easily influenced. Is she an Agaricia? People you call when the deadline is near, but hits reply all to emails. Nellie could be an Agaricia, because she came into the show when Michael was leaving, kind of like how the Agariciids filled the niche as acroporids were struggling. That could work. That could work. Okay, so let's take stock of who we have. Wow, don't mind the formatting. Don't mind the formatting on this. Because it is obviously, we forgot Phyllis. And a couple others. So we've got Michael as MCAV, Jim as Cervicornis, Pam as Palmata, Dwight as Dicosenia, Andy as Stephanocynia, still need to get Phyllis, Stanley hardcore Siderastria, need Creed and Meredith, I think. We had thought about them as maybe not corals. Kevin is Meandrina, Oscar Brain Coral, Angela Favia Fragum, Aaron another Acropora, Toby Turf Algae, a nuisance, Ryan as Skittle D because he's toxic, Kelly as Mycetophilia, Daryl as Orbicella, and Nellie as Agaricia. So let's try and fill in some of those blanks that we have. We need to get Phyllis. We need to get Phyllis here. I mean, she does kind of do a lot, and she does things quite well. She could be a Porites. I could see that. She does do a lot of things. She is sales. She is on the party planning committee. Well, that's pretty much all that she does in the office, right? Sometimes is a thorn in people's side, but other times really, really helpful. I could see Phyllis being a Porites. Nondescript, but still has an important role. That'll do it for me. That'll do it. Phyllis is going to be our Porites. Okay. So then who do we ultimately have left? We've done Orbicella. We've done Siderastria. We've done Acropora, MCAV. Stefanicinia. Oh, wait, did I skip Andy? Oh, no. Stefanicinia. We did Dicocenia, Ephra, Emia, Brain Coral, Mycetophilia, Agaricia, and Porites. Oop, not what I wanted to do. I wanted fill color. So how many people do we have left? I think we just have Creed and Meredith, right? Creed, Meredith, and maybe Ryan. So our two options could be Eusmilia, neatest desk, but needs coffee to function. Or Dendrogyra, always has snacks, always has sick. That doesn't fit either of them. That does not fit either of them. But Anna, your idea about where did you put it? Aptasia or dinos? Something kind of coral adjacent. That's tricky. So we could do symbionts. We could do like CCA, crustose coral and algae. Fish, anything kind of reef affiliated, but it has to be like really, really close to corals. So Meredith, you know, easygoing, confident, low standards, I'll say. She could almost be like a generalist. See who are more of our generalists. And you know, I guess there's nothing saying we can't repeat. Like we did repeat Aaron with Acropora. But I was just hoping we could get everybody. They're just such wild cards. I don't know. I guess Meredith might be another Siderastria. Not in the same way that Stanley is a Siderastria. As in like Stanley is not a team player, but like in the way that she doesn't really care about what people think about her. She just does what she wants. Kind of, she's got an edge to her. She could be another Siderastria. Where's my man Stanley? Stanley would definitely hate that I'm doing that. He would not want me to compare him to Meredith, but oh well. And then Creed. He might be a parrotfish. Kind of predatory on, so, eating, it's like parrotfish eating coral. No. Wrong. Triggerfish. Hostile. Yeah, that could work. Although he's not outwardly, he does not express malice like a triggerfish does. Triggerfish just... Oh, and why am I thinking... I'm thinking triggerfish just for their hostility. No, I don't know why I said eating coral. That's just not right. That was silly of me to say. He doesn't express like malice towards people. So maybe he is more just of a parrotfish. Not, like intentionally trying to cause harm to corals, but in doing what they do, trying to feed themselves, try and sustain themselves, they sometimes do harm. That's fitting. I think that could fit. Okay. All right, I like this list. I kind of like this. This could be interesting. So let's take a... I don't think we're gonna find... If we expand it to... I don't know if we're gonna find a Eusmilia or a Dendrogyra. So I think we might just leave them alone for now. Sorry, just making sure I save this for later. Okay, now let's do a big final inventory, and I think we might call it a little early today. I've got some other things I need to take care of, so I might just call it early today. Okay, let me move them, please. Freeform. Thank you. Thank you. I want to try and get everyone in one frame if I can. I know it looks so unorganized, but bear with me here. Doing what I can. Probably would have done 4s. But that worked out just nice. Okay, okay. Oh, that's still kind of small. Let me move. Oops. Let's just do, and this is going to take the rest of the time, just me trying to get perfectionist on this nonsense. Me trying to be perfectionist on just a game that we're playing. family real fast. There we go. Make a little more room. Make it more perfectionist. Oh, well, I have to keep accounting together. So where are Ryan and Kelly? Because I can't split up the accounting department, and I can't split up Ryan and Kelly. They did that themselves. It's Crop Creed. I'm spending too much time on this. I know, just bear with my madness for just a moment longer. Okay, able to get everyone kind of on here. Deal with my different font sizes, okay? Deal with it. Okay. Can I get everyone in one frame? Everyone in one frame. Almost there, I promise. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, gosh, Tychosenia. Long name. Yep, so we can make you bigger. Definitely Stephanicinia, like the longest name. Okay. Does that satisfy my craziness? Awesome. Maybe even me, I'm trying to keep checking the viewfinder to see how it looks on the big screen. Well, smaller screen. I have the big screen. Okay, let's go through our list. So we have all of the core Office characters. So at least in least 2 seasons, and not just a reoccurring character. So we're doing main characters and we're doing side characters. Reoccurring ones, sorry Clark and Pete, next time. Next time, I promise. But we don't fully know about you. So what do we got? Michael Scott. Michael Scott as Montastria Cavernosa, because he is the boss. Okay, let me restart. And now Nellie's out of it. Here we go. All of the core characters from The Office matched with their coral species or coral genus, being Caribbean ones. Gonna start off, Michael Scott, Montastria Cavernosa. He's the boss. He's the boss coral. He does a lot of things, makes an awesome team, builds up the reef, and tends to fluoresce. So sometimes he can be a little flirtatious as he fluoresces. Um, Sometimes a little more than he probably needs to be. Sometimes gets him into a little bit of trouble. That's MCAV. Then we've got Jim. He's going to be Acropora cervicornis, because the acroporids, you know, they're the high profile, popular ones. People really like them. Quite beautiful. All the corals are beautiful, but like known for its beauty. Gets beat up sometimes, but continues to bounce back. Then we have Pam, is also going to be an acropora again because she's one of like the normal popular office mates. We chose Palmata for Pam, because Palmata, Pam, Palmata, that works nicely. But Pam tends to get, she draws the short straw. She gets the short end of the stick a lot of the times in the show, has to deal with a lot, like Palmata does. Diseases, bleaching events, Palmata gets beat up a lot, so Pam is also. We have Dwight as Dichocenia stickesii, because one of a kind. Dichocenia is one of a kind. Dwight is one of a kind. You will not find another Dwight. You will not find another Dichocenia. So that was a pretty good match. And a little oblong as well. Andy is our Stephanicinia intercepta, because he is likable, tends to be rather beautiful too, but Stephanicinia, blushing star coral. Does not take feedback well. Andy wants to be liked. He adapts himself to fit the needs of others. He's a people pleaser. As a blushing star coral, also a people pleaser. Phyllis gets the underrated rank of Porites, because Porites does a good job, is a little more low profile, not literally like profile, well, kind of literally profile sometimes, although except for those monster colonies, those century colonies that we see. Kind of flies under the radar, is a little nondescript, but still does really good work and very important, just like Phyllis. Like Phyllis, she doesn't always have like the top sales, but she does a great job. Still does a great job. Stanley, our resident Siderastria, our first Siderastria that we'll talk about. He gets that title because Siderastria does not care. It does its job, and then once the day is done, it goes home. Siderastria doesn't care about what people think. Siderastria does what it wants, just like Stanley does with his crosswords during meetings. Okay. Ryan. This is a little dramatic. Ryan gets the infamous title of Stony Coral Tissue Loss Disease, because Ryan's toxic, and his toxicity affects nearly everyone in the office at some point. Sorry, Ryan. Sorry, BJ Novak. You get Skittle D. Kelly, our beauty queen, our like pop star, pop culture, our hip one. She's going to get Mycetophilia, because Mycetophilia is very elegant, very has these elaborate colors, dresses always nicely, and Kelly, that's very important to her. There we go, and is also affected by Skittle D. We've got an interesting one here. We've got Creed. Creed we did not give a coral, because Creed is not like the others. He is his own thing, so we gave him the title of Parrotfish, because parrotfish, while not, directly eating coral, they still have an effect, sometimes negative, on corals. And Creed does some shady things. Maybe not out of malice, maybe sometimes out of malice, who knows? But it can be harmful at times, so he's gonna get a parrotfish. Meredith gets the second Siderastria for this list, because while she isn't as, how do I put it, as exhausted with people as Stanley is, She also is very confident and doesn't care about what other people think, just like Citarastria. So we have two Citarastrias. We also, oh, we'll get that in a little bit, never mind. Kevin, our man Kevin, gets Meandrina Meandrites. Pleasant title of that. He's kind of the office bestie. No one really has a big issue with Kevin at any point. They have like little squabbles here and there, but pretty much everyone gets along with Kevin, even though he can be annoying sometimes. Can be easily influenced. Also, let me double check that list. Easily influenced, yeah. Kevin can be easily convinced of things. Donuts in the break room. Or in the kitchen. Yeah, donuts in the kitchen, that's a good one. Our second in accounting, we have Oscar. Another easy one. He's the brain coral. He's a know-it-all. Really smart, so he probably is the most intelligent one in the office, but sometimes he's a little bit awkward about it, very know-it-all. Angela gets the golf ball coral, the Favia Fragum. Favia Fragum, you know, small, just like Angela. Feisty, too. Both of them are feisty. They'll fight. If someone gets on the wrong side of you, fight them. Fight them. All right, and then our last column here, we have Erin. We also gave Erin another Acropora because she is almost like Pam 2.0. She's the new receptionist following Pam, and also gets caught up in a lot of drama. Just like our Acroporas, how we listed it last week. Our Acroporas get caught up in drama, but is overall quite friendly. She wants people to be happy. She wants everyone to get along, but sometimes things just happen. Toby, turf algae. I think that's enough said. No one likes turf algae. No one likes Toby. Piece of cake. Daryl, this was a fun one. Daryl was fun. He gets to be an Orbicella. Orbicella are our hard-working corals that are susceptible to burnout. And I think that's fitting for Daryl. Daryl is one of the most competent people at Dunder Mifflin. He runs the warehouse and does a great job with that. Stays organized, has a good safety record until Michael or Dwight or someone else enters the warehouse. And things tend to stay on schedule. He always has an answer to everything except during job interviews. So yeah, he's gonna get, and a couple of times during the show we hear he does get burned out, just like our Orbicella. Okay. And then finally, Nellie. Nellie, the unofficial regional manager, before Andy gets put in. She's gonna be in Agaricia. So she was part of the transition when Steve Carell left the office. So she was kind of this transition character. And Agaricia kind of helped fill the niche as Acropora populations declined. They kind of filled the niche, the depth, and somewhat of the branching role of the Acroporids. So that one I feel is really fitting. Nellie will get the Agaricia. Some people like her, some people don't also. Some people like Agaricia, others are like, we want more Acroporids. So be it, so be it. So there's our list. Some of these were super easy. Like our Michael Scott, Jim, Pam, Dwight, those were also super easy. Daryl and Nellie were super easy, but then we had some really tricky ones. The side characters got a little tricky at times. I had issues like Creed and Meredith because they didn't fit the narrative that I was trying to say, like work personalities, because they were designed as characters to not fit the mold. They were supposed to be wild, these wild cards. So they were a little trickier because they didn't have good roles for them. But love them in the show, But yeah, there's our list. We want to expand to reoccurring characters. We can definitely add on to this later on. I should make this an actual format. I didn't know how to do this, so I just kind of freeformed it. Literally, I used freeform for this. It worked out just fine. I needed that flexibility. But if we need to make this more formal, we should probably do that. But anywho, that was our agenda for today, making that list. I think I might cut it off a little early. Things to look out for next week. Well, today I sent the job list update, so be sure to take a look at that. We had a good amount this week, I think 8. Good diversity of them too. A lot of research ones, though. A lot of research positions became available. Next week, I'm also trying to expand some email content, trying to answer a lot of your guys' questions and what you guys kind of want to see from Reef Unity Network. I'll be addressing some of that, or trying to slowly build on what we've done so far. I'm excited for it. I think I've got a good format, a good outline. Either way, I'm just trying to make Reef Unity Network better, and any way I can do that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome. But I think I'm going to leave it there for today. So thank you guys for coming out. Happy Friday. Have a good rest of your day and have a great weekend. Take care and bye-bye.